disrespectful parents on your campus, how do you deal with them? Now, this, sadly, I've done many times, but I don't know that I've been successful. So I don't know that I can be considered an expert in this, but I've dealt with many times. Depends on the how disrespectful they are. If they're disrespectful to the point of violence, then call the police. But if the disrespect means that they communicate in all caps in these Unabomber length emails, you know what I'm talking about? It's like, oh my God, Joe. And then in that email, they call you every name in the book and accuse you of doing everything but being a child of God. Those, I don't tend to respond to long emails. If you feel like you can have a meeting with them, have a meeting, but never alone. If you're an administrator, meet with another administrator in the room. If you're a faculty member, then make sure verbal cursing out in front office. Okay. Well, been there, done that many times. And I'm telling you that nobody has the right to come up in your school and talk like a goddamn fool. I don't care how many kids they have in a school. I don't care. I don't care which civil rights person they know or don't know. I don't care who they're going to call. I don't care if, I told one parent, because I know that their child is never wrong. You're an assistant principal? Okay, so cool. Yeah, if you're assistant principal, then it's your job to make sure this building stays safe. What you need to recognize is that when your office staff or custodians or faculty or paras, when the people you work with see somebody coming up there acting like they got no damn sense, they're looking at you like, so what you gonna do about it? Because they want to know if they're safe. You got to make sure they're safe. Look, I will call the police faster than you can say Jackie Robinson, and I won't think twice about it. Come get them. I one time had a parent go off, screaming. I mean, shrill. Around this time. She came in. She had met with the principal, and, I supervised the principals, among the principals, and so she wanted to meet with me. And I was like, all right, cool. I figured I could sit down and talk to the sister and work some things out. And she was convinced that we had purposefully denied her fourth grader the break homework. Every other fourth grader got the homework except for her son. And when I asked her, is it possible that your son lost it? Because it's online. Like, we gave you a hard copy, but it's actually online too. She was convinced that we had it out for her and her kids. I had never met the sister. I had never met the sister. I didn't have an issue with her. But I said to her, okay, here's the deal. Every other child in our entire district who's in the fourth grade got this. You're saying your child is the only one that didn't get it. It didn't happen. Let's call it a mulligan. Put it behind us. Let's just get this. I'll show you how to get it, and we'll address the credit thing. It's fourth grade. Like, we'll address the grade thing later. She wouldn't let it go. Like, just wouldn't let it go. I said, no, but you can have it. Like, you. Now he's behind. Like, every time I gave her something, she gave me another reason that she was pissed. So every problem I felt like I was solving, she just took it to another level. So I say to you as an assistant principal, once you recognize that the conversation is becoming circular, like every time you offer up an opportunity for the issue to be resolved and they bring up another issue, you've reached a point where it's just not going to get better. It's only going to get worse. So my strong suggestions end the conversation. Hey, Mom, I appreciate you coming in. I see that this conversation is not yielding the outcome that you want. I've given you the very best answer that I can. I appreciate you. Have a nice day. So in this case, that wasn't enough for her. She wanted to keep going. She starts hollering and screaming. You got a whole school full of children. They can hear this person up at the front of the building screaming and hollering. So I'm asking if sis, if you just please keep your voice down. It's like you're going too far. You're doing too much. It's never necessary. It's never necessary. It's never necessary. So I explained to her that, I'm not talking to you in this way, and I won't have you talking to me this way. And she says, I fight dudes. I said, what did you just say? She said, I fight dudes. All right, sis. This is not a conversation either of us need to be having. There's a door that brought you in and take you out. Let's please leave it that way. Now you can't be threatening staff, and not me or anybody. Recognizing that my staff is watching me, so they want to see how this is done. She wouldn't let it go. Police were dispatched. She came and she left in cuffs over a fourth grade assignment over break. As an administrator, you do not have the responsibility to deal with people who don't want to have a reasonable conversation. Listen, I get it. Many times, schools, we're wrong. Like, we're just wrong. We thought we did it this way, and it didn't go that way. We just apologize and see what we can do to move forward. It happens. It happens all the time. We're humans. We're not there to do it wrong, but sometimes it happens. I mean, there are physicians who prescribe the wrong medication or do something. I mean, just we're humans, right? That's what this is. But you as an administrator, you as an educator, no, you ain't got to put up with that mess. Nobody gets to talk to you like that. No one has the right to curse at you. Who goes to somebody's job and curses at them? I mean, you can't go to the airport and do that. TSA will grab your ass up, for real. The Port Authority will, go ahead, go to LaGuardia and cuss at that person behind that counter. I dare you. And I'll do the countdown before people start descending from the ceiling, dragging your ass out. So what makes you think you would go to somebody's school? And I mean, come on, man. Especially people who are here trying to help you. Stop. Be mad, but recognize that's not your baby's father there. That's your son's principal. So stop. Don't talk to people like that. You don't want them talking to you like that. There's that. Yeah, so this is a big one. A lot of times what parents will do is if two kids got into trouble, they'll say, I want to know what happened to the other kids. Well, the law is very clear. You can't tell them, even if you wanted to. And in some cases, let me be honest, I want to tell. Like, in some cases, I want to be like, look, I suspended them, but what I would have done, I can't say that because you just can't, because they have rights and you can't do it, and they're kids, and so stop. And what difference does it make what happened to somebody else's child? Grow up. Just worry about yours. Just worry about yours. For real. Just worry about yours. It is what it is. And what are we talking about? Suspension? So they go home for a day or two, whatever. Then they come back to school. That's it. That's all. That's all that happened. What are you doing? Stop. You're making it too much. I'll finish here. You're an administrator. I will say this to you, and we'll have a different conversation with administrators because this was more so about parenting. But I'll say this as an administrator. No one gets to talk to you any old way. It's just not the way this thing happens. No one. Because you don't go on their job talking to them this way. What my hope is that you respect the families with whom you work, and that you'll find that more often than not, when you respect the families with whom you work, they'll respect you. They don't always have to like everything you do, because that's just not what it is. It's not going to happen that way. But if they understand that your goal is to do the right thing, to do right by their child, on graduation day, a lot of the bad stuff will fly back in the rearview mirror, and you won't have to think about that anymore. So as long as you know you're doing your best, as long as you know you're doing what you need to do, everything else happens